to Desertwood Days, and I'm here with the lovely Shakur Carter. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to meet you. We finally get to meet.
Yes, we do.
We've been social media friends for quite a while, and I've
Mhm.
seen your beautiful work out there. So I just look forward to showing it to our audience today,
Oh, thank you very
but
much.
learning a little bit more about you first.
Okay.
So, Miss Shakur, when did you first realize that you loved creating?
Oh, since I was born, I think I had a crayon in my hand.
Oh,
And I used to, run out to the 10-cent store and buy coloring books and crayons almost every day. So
wow.
I already knew way back.
That was one thing I was telling one of my previous guests is that I don't think we just fall here or land where we are. It was always there with us.
Yes.
That was our purpose.
Hmm.
So creating is your purpose to share with everyone out there. And I've looked at a lot of your work, and that is exactly what you're doing. You're capturing the essence of so many things, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, and that was one of my questions. Are you a trained artist, or it was a natural? So you're telling us it was it started off naturally.
Yes, I'm self-taught. Um, I did attempt to go to school, but my life took me in other paths where I just didn't have the opportunities to. But didn't bother me. I'll get a book out and I'll look at it and say, okay, how do you do that?
Uh
Or
huh.
something like that. And just kept practicing.
Right. Even though you're self-taught, you still would always take to other knowledge, whether it's a book or social media
Yes.
or somewhere.
Hmm.
Or was there an artist that inspired you growing up?
I love Charles White, his dramatic, dark, black and white pieces.
Mm.
I just always was drawn to that. And let's say I like Ernie Barnes because he's very playful and most of
Uh-huh.
his works very colorful.
Now,
So
now,
those
see,
two.
that's something an artist like yourself would see and take note of. I mean, just someone like me that
Hmm.
knows nothing about what you do, I wouldn't see those things that, oh, this was fun or the dark colors.
Hmm.
I mean, it takes that type of eye to notice that.
Yes, yes.
That's amazing. So, was there any other artists in the family growing up?
Oh yeah, actually, my mom used to do fashion sketches, and my dad was an artist, commercial artist.
Oh, okay.
So it just runs through me.
Oh, yes, yes.
Hmm.
Your work. Can you tell us describe your style?
No, I'm just kidding. Well, there's just a lot of things I like to do. So the woodwork I would call, well, I named it FOD, Fine Art in Wood Dimensions. And it's basically, a lot of people call it folk art, but I just wanted to make up something different. And then I also do the fantasy art with the characters that are, something you might imagine but never see in real life.
Oh, okay.
And I also love to do portraits, so that's
Oh,
realism.
right,
Yeah. So I just
right.
kind of like everything.
All right. Do you have a favorite?
Um, I think right now it would be working with the wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite because I've learned how to install lights and switches and just kind of really fun to play with.
So, where did the idea of using wood come from?
Puzzles.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
think in 1990, I love jigsaw puzzles. I'm looking and looking for somebody, that looks like me.
Uh-huh.
And I could not find any. So I said, I'm going to make my own. And my auntie gifted me with a scroll saw.
Oh.
And I used to make squares and triangles, and all of a sudden I'm doing that. So that inspired me.
So when you're working with wood, do you use the wood for all types of the artwork that you create? Is that what you mainly use as wood?
No, I use canvas, different kind of charcoal papers,
Mm-hmm.
um, and oils. So there's a variety, but right now the wood is my favorite.
That's your favorite.
Hmm.
And why is the wood your favorite? I mean, is it a better hold, better texture? What is it about the
I
wood?
think I just like machines. I just like how it feels like when you're cutting the wood and
Mm-hmm.
you're guiding, the
Oh,
design of the wood, how you have the lines in the wood and you
yes.
could just kind of design your cuts through the different shapes in the wood. And I
Oh.
like that a lot.
Is there many people that use wood?
I don't know that many personally, but
Mm.
there are.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Okay. So how does it feel when you go into let's say a studio and you see your work?
I feel like, so cool. I feel very happy and blessed and very honored.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Has it ever been a point where have you always felt that way, or have you ever looked at your work and not liked seeing it publicly?
Oh, yes, I've had some pieces that I would rather not show, but sometimes you run out of other things, so you'll put up a piece you don't like so much. And sometimes, surprisingly, somebody else likes it, even if you don't.
There's always someone that likes something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something for everyone out there. Tell us about your first piece that really caught attention.
Wow. Well, okay. Okay, I think I did an illustration, more of a sci-fi piece. Um, and it caught Faye Hauser's. I don't know if you know who Faye Hauser is, but she was an actress back in the day. It was a young girl on this flat planet, and she has a plant in her hand, and she's really running to get out of there because you have these monsters and these things at night they come out, and she's got the last plant on the planet.
Oh,
So
okay.
something hi-fi was that until they asked me to put it in the show, Progressive Black Artist Show, and that was my first piece that attracted someone.
Wonderful. Do you still
Yeah.
have pictures of that piece?
I sure do.
Wonderful.
Sure do.
Wonderful. That is awesome. So, how long have you been in the Arizona industry?
I've been here about 20 years now.
20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you originally from?
California,
Okay.
LA. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, welcome to Arizona. So, Shakur, for someone, I don't want to say someone getting into art because I think it's something that you have or you don't have. But if there's an aspiring artist that's interested in getting to your level, what would you recommend for that person? What advice would you give to them?
I would practice, practice, practice.
Okay.
Number one, and whatever medium you want to go in, I would just read up on it unless you want to go to school, which is fine.
Uh-huh.
I would recommend school
Okay.
too.
Okay.
However, it still can be done without school, but I just practice. And
So
basically,
with you, you didn't go to school. So what, we need a tribe around us to help us to get to different levels. I mean, we don't always do it on our own. So what was it that helped you to realize where you wanted to be at a certain level?
good friends that would encourage me to sell my work, because I was like, oh no, you can just have it. And they were like, oh no, I'm going to pay you for this. And they started directing me towards different museums or shops or
Okay.
things like that. And then it got really nice.
So what is it that would take for say a shop or studio to want to represent your work?
Basically, a good portfolio, nice photographs. Clearly, you can see your work, and a nice bio.
Okay.
And it's pretty easy. It just might be a list before you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Well, you brought us some pictures to look at today, right?
I sure did.
Okay, well, let's take a look.
Okay. Okay, this originally was the back of a chair I was making for my granddaughter when she was about 6. And I never finished the chair. So, but I kept that part of it. And it's wood.
Oh, I love the colors.
Thank you. This is called a secret garden. It's about 5 feet by 5 feet, so it's pretty big.
That's
And
pretty.
it's kind of playful because I used to love when my grandmother used to go out in the garden. And it's also layered wood. I think there's maybe 7 layers of wood in there.
Wow.
This was a show in Stone Mountain, Georgia, where I'd gone for a couple of years, and they wanted me to exhibit at the local libraries. So this is one
Oh,
of the libraries.
okay.
Yeah, and that piece there is called The Girls.
Oh.
Yeah, this was an exhibit at Australia
Hmm.
College, and I had some new ideas in wood at the time, so you can't really see what they're looking at, but I think it was a very large case, maybe 4 or 5 pieces in it,
Uh-huh.
and they were just giving me lots of comps.
Well, it looked like they were excited.
This
Oh.
piece is called I Often Wonder,
Oh.
and it's actually from a book, the book I Dream a World,
Hmm.
and there was a surgeon's face, and the face was just so dramatic. I said, I've got to do that in charcoal. So
I love this.
that's the result. Thank you. This is a little premonition I had before my daughter passed away.
Hmm.
So I got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and painted it. It's acrylic on canvas. This is sweet peas.
That's my grandma.
Yeah.
That's the way she would sit on the front porch.
Yeah, that's the way I thought. I had never been back east or any of that, but I would listen to the stories
Mm-hmm.
that they would tell.
She'd sit in the front porch, and I always wondered why she's sitting outside doing those peas.
A little bit warm, but yeah. So that's
those were beautiful.
Thank you.
Very
much.
beautiful. I would love to see them in person. I mean, I'm sure seeing them here doesn't do any justice at all. Even though I love the colors you selected.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, just beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
So, is there any new projects you're working on right now?
There are some coming up next year. With Visions and Sound, we're doing something near the end of January into the end of February. Dates to be given out later.
Yes.
We'll put up some information for those, and we're supposed to go up to Sedona and be the first Black group up there to exhibit as a whole. So I'll let you guys know for sure.
That is awesome. And Sedona is such a beautiful place just to really soak in and get some inspiration from also.
Exactly. I'll have to get all native on them. I don't know.
So, Shakur, where, if someone wanted to find your work, where would they find your work?
I'm at wetblues.com.
Okay.
And you can find me on Facebook, Rhonda Shakur Carter.
Okay.
And get in touch with me. I also always have several pieces at home that I don't always show.
Sure.
So through that information, you can get in touch with me.
Sure. And is that a website?
Yes, www.
And do they have is your work on the website as well?
Yes.
Okay.
It is, and my information and a little bio.
That is awesome. You know what, you mentioned earlier about putting together a portfolio.
Yes.
Okay. How does one start by doing that?
I would take, what I first did was get a photographer, an art photographer, because my personal pictures I took wasn't that great. They didn't have these really cool cameras like they do now.
Yeah.
Now you can probably do it yourself. But some really nice pictures, maybe about 9x11 size.
Okay.
That are very clear. Put them in a nice folder. Make sure you have the information next to it, and pretty much, all your favorites in there, and then you submit it to the museum or the gallery.
Awesome.
With all your information.
Well, at least that helps. I mean, for someone that's wanting to get started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it was such a pleasure having you here with us today.
Thank you.
And we will catch you next time here on Desertwood Days.